Okay, so welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I'm going to be doing a review, if you want to call it that, on our daily driver. It's a BMW 335 diesel. We've had this car now for about 4 years and it's never missed a beat. I mean, it has had some problems, don't get me wrong, but it's such a good workhorse of a car. So this model is a bog standard one. It's had no modifications done to it whatsoever. So I've had this car for about 4 years now and it's such a good car to drive. It's quiet, it's comfortable, it's smooth, it's no noise to it. I do wish we got the petrol version though for the noise, because like this obviously just sounds like a diesel and it's got sort of no, the engine sounds good I suppose, but you know, there's no noise coming out of the exhaust, etc. But then that is a good thing, because my Focus obviously makes a hell of a lot of noise, and well, this one's just peaceful to drive. You can take it on long journeys, and you know, it's just a nice motor to have. So this one is bog standard. It's a 3-litre twin turbo. Out of the factory they are, I think they're around about 280 horsepower, and you get 427 foot-pound of torque. So that is quite a lot. I actually think that's more than a standard M3 when it come out of the factory, the torque. Obviously the horsepower on an M3 is more. So I'm not really going to bore you with too many facts and figures about the car. One figure though, however, I do like, the miles per gallon. So the trip computer will tell you that, you know, you're getting 30, 40, 50. Currently I'm going uphill doing 16 miles to the gallon, I think. But on a long trip you can easily get 50, 60 miles to the gallon out of this car, and it is just fantastic. We actually took it to Ilfracombe, and on one tank of fuel, so around about £65, that one tank actually got us to Ilfracombe and back, and I think it was around about 560 miles, but when we got home we was literally, the needle was on the zero. The road tax on this car is around about £230 a year. Insurance wise, for me and my wife to get insured on this, I think it was around about £450, £500 for the year. So that's not too bad really when you think of it. The bad points about this car is definitely got to be the fixing side of things. So if something goes wrong, it's from BMW and it's not going to be cheap. Tyres on this are, as we found out, roughly, because they're run flats, they're roughly about £200 each, depending on what brand you go for. And I think we've gone through probably four or five tyres in the last 4 years, so you know, that's £1,000 in tyres. It's not the cheapest car to keep on the road. When it's running, it's fine, but when something goes wrong, then you know about it, because it's going to dent the wallet. Recently as well, we had to have the diesel particulate filter regenerated, and at the same time we actually needed a new air mass flow sensor. The air mass sensor I think was £350 from BMW, and the regen was about £100 I think. So all in all, once we paid for all the fitting of things, it actually came to about £500 just for, you know, one little fix. The alloys on this car as well are rubbish. Any pothole you hit, basically you're looking at cracking the alloy. I don't know what BMW make them out of. I think it's made out of like Swiss roll or something like that. But yeah, these cars, these alloys are shockingly made. They look good, don't get me wrong, they do look good. I think all BMW wheels always look good, but they're just made out of butter, so any time you hit a stone in the road or, you know, anything, they're pretty much prone to cracking. We've actually had two crack on us. We got one fixed, we got it alley welded, and the other one I bought off eBay. Saying that, however, that is all we've had go wrong with the car. So wheels and tyres is not exactly the end of the world. You can get that on most cars anyway. You'll probably end up buying tyres for most cars. It's just the expense of them. And other than the airflow sensor, that's all we've had actually go wrong on this, touch wood, in the last sort of 4 years. Now me and my wife share this car, so my wife actually takes this to work every day, and you know, it is good. People always say with diesels, don't take them on short runs, because then, you know, they're not very efficient, etc. But we've noticed that we had a little courtesy car for a couple of days, and I think it was a 1.2 or 1.3, and that actually seemed to do just as much fuel over a course of a week. Yeah, so this car cost around about £60–65 to fill up, and I think it lasts my wife probably 3 to 4 weeks, and that's just driving sort of probably 10 to 15 miles a day, I'd say. When we do go on long runs, however, we do notice that, you know, this is a really good car for fuel economy. You really can't beat it. For the power that you're getting 280 horsepower and 427 foot-pounds of torque. I mean, £65 can get you over 560 miles. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, if you put it in sport mode and blast it everywhere, you're not going to get that sort of mileage. But also you've got the flappy paddles as well, which are, they're all right. Bit jumpy, you probably can't see it in the video, but when you put it in sport mode, the car just sort of, I don't know, it just changes gear, but it's sort of a jumpy change of gears. Although that one was quite smooth. But the flappy paddles on this are, you know, they're pretty responsive, but nothing like the newer cars. What I mean in a minute, let's go to second, so I'm in second gear now. And like you can sort of hang the gear out for longer. But it's that change of gear to third gear there, it's just, it feels like the revs just continue to go and then it sort of comes back and then sort of changes. And I don't know, don't get me wrong, it's a fast car. There really is a fast car, but it's not really for sport mode anyway. It's just for driving around. My wife's probably going to kill me now that she's seen that as well. Unfortunately though, for us, we're going to actually have to get rid of this car now because we're actually expecting a baby in May, and let's be honest, this is no good for putting car seats in, so we're going to have to look at buying a new car. We are looking at the Ford Kuga ST Line X, and obviously that's going to be much more of a family car, and also another diesel as well, but we are really going to miss this car. The one thing we did want to do with this car, we actually wanted to get it mapped. We want to get it mapped because then you sort of unleash all of the torque out of these cars. And like from what I've read, you can get these sort of up to like sort of 600 foot-pound of torque, and you know that's a decent figure to have. I'm not sure what the horsepower is though. I think it takes it up to probably around about 300 horsepower, but you know, double the torque, 600 foot-pounds. That's ridiculous, and I don't think the maps are that expensive either. This is the M Sport model as well, so it comes with a few extra little features. So we've got like the black wing mirrors, come with the black kidney grille thing they're called at the front. Comes with 19-inch alloys, hence when they break, that's why they cost so much bloody money. I think brand new, these cars were about £45,000. So you know, it's not, you get quite a lot of motor for quite cheap, but these days, I mean, I think you can pick up one of these models now for about £10,000 maybe. It depends on the model and how many miles this has got. So this one, for example, is just coming up to 80,000 miles. So I reckon we could probably get between 10 and 12 grand for it, I reckon. But there's cheaper models that I've seen out there, sort of cheaper prices for similar sort of spec, but never underestimate the diesel. My friend's actually got the E92 M3, and we had a little bit of a mess around on the motorways, and you know, 0 to 70, we sort of, you know, kept with the car. Obviously the M3 is going to overtake us, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm not fooled, you know, I'm not fooled that this is an extremely fast car, but against the M3 standard, it's very, very similar. Obviously the M3 looks nicer, it sounds nicer, and you know, it's the M3 at the end of the day. Just a shame we've got to sell it, really. I was actually looking forward to modifying this a little bit and sort of getting the map on it and, you know, getting it a lot quicker. So thanks for watching the video, hope you enjoyed it, hope you made it to the end. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. I will be doing more videos over the next sort of few months, but unfortunately that means it's going to be in the UK winter time, which is rubbish for me because it's just going to be freezing cold. I didn't make use of the British summertime for whatever reason, but yeah, I'm going to be making more videos, so I hope you enjoyed this one, I hope you stay tuned, and I'll catch you in the next one.